Well, pow,
Hello.
pow. There it is.
Woo!
All right, there she is. Hey, Victoria, how's it going?
It is great, George. Thank
Awesome.
you so much.
Yeah, thanks for working through those technical difficulties. I'm glad we're live, and I'm excited to chat with you because you're such a fireball. I didn't know you before the greatest year of your life, but I watched you for 3 days and watched you had some big breakthroughs, and now you just seem to be really on fire. So I just want to kind of touch base with some people who went through the event and see what's going on in their lives, a few weeks afterwards. So. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what was going on in your life pre Greatest Year of Your Life 2018?
All right. So I'm Victoria, and a little over a year ago, I started a small business and had a hard time getting it off the ground, was still struggling. And essentially, that is why I came to Greatest Year of Your Life. I do have this thing called a job. But the reason I came to Greatest Year of Your Life is, oh, what am I doing wrong? How do I get my business off the ground? I walked away with a lot more, but that's why I came to the event.
Gotcha. Cool. So during the event, you had some breakthroughs, and is there any like specific breakthrough that kind of pops in your head about um, in terms of like a big aha moment for you or a big like kind of thing for you?
Yes, even bigger than that. So I came to the event because I had told myself I did not, being a speaker and a trainer, as you know, sometimes we can command high dollar amounts. And I came to the event with the intention, how do I ask for that kind of money and why can't I get clients? And that's why I came. And the biggest, I kept telling myself, I can't do this. I don't deserve that kind of money. And people kept saying, oh my gosh, there's like 800,000 of you in Denver. What makes you different? And it frustrated me. So my breakthrough, there were actually 4 activities at the event specifically that built and built and built and finally provided the breakthrough that I had for my business and really for myself. And that is that I am worthy, that I am good enough, that I am better, and that I deserve the kind of money and income that what I do with my business commands. It was really a confidence thing, not, oh my gosh, I can't figure this out. So, 4 activities, they were amazing and they really catapulted to the level and things are changing. So,
Awesome. Well, I want to dive into some of those specific activities. So the before picture was you had this business, but you didn't really command the dollar amount that you felt like that you were worth. And is that accurate to say?
yes, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you came to the event because maybe you wanted to change some of that. And so you told us about, you bullet pointed 4 things that were big ahas or breakthroughs. Can you take us into one of them and go to some of the specifics? Like what was the exercise? What was the experience for you?
Yes. So, of the 4, the one that sticks out the most was the money activity that you had us do. And I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be good. But you went deep. And the money exercise, how do we feel about money? How was money when we were, younger? What did our parents teach us about money? And to really tighten this up, I grew up super poor. I was a welfare kid. One of my parents was also like so poverty stricken, like they had to beg for food. My other parent was born with a silver spoon in her mouth, my mom. And so just growing up, being a welfare kid, not having money, always having to struggle to launch myself into this business that I did corporately for 20 years, I thought, man, that's a lot of money. And I don't really need that kind of money. I don't really need that kind of money. And I started to realize that's what I was putting out into the universe. And it wasn't about need, but the exercise that you did specifically when you made us sit there and write and write and write and journal about what our parents taught us about money. My parents didn't directly teach me or my siblings about money, but I learned by watching them about how to struggle and suffering and squandering and just really scraping by. And I think that has set the tone for my entire life. I don't need nice things. I don't need a lot of money. And it's not about need. And so that activity of the 4 that got me to my breakthrough was really about, how do I value money? And the letter that I wrote to money was, "Dear money, I am sorry that I have misunderstood you. I'm sorry that I have not communicated with you the way I should have growing up." And I really just let my observations skew what money is and what it can be. So that was probably by far the biggest breakthrough activity of the four that really drove to the change I'm now experiencing.
Oh, that's awesome. So for those of you watching on day 2 of the greatest year of your life, and by the way, the greatest year of your life is the premier breakthrough event happening in Colorado every January at the beginning of every year. And on day 2, we go through this session called Breaking Through Your Emotional Money Ceiling or Your Internal Money Ceiling. And there are some specific questions that are engineered and designed to help people really get into the core and the root of the limiting beliefs that they've taken on about money, that typically that we learn from our parents or our teachers or our coaches or our environment. And we take those maps into our adulthood. And a lot of times we operate from these maps and they're not getting us to where we want to go. So it's kind of like, imagine I gave you a map of Denver, Colorado in 1970. And I said, okay, I want you to go find this place, and this place. But these places have been built after 1970. The map isn't going to do you any good. And a lot of times people install these unconscious maps about money or about their own worth, and they go out into the world, and it's not necessarily creating the result they desire. So this process that we go through helps people sort of upgrade and update those internal maps so they can really see the value that they hold and to break through those internal emotional money ceilings. And then we end it with writing a letter to money as if it were a long lost friend that you wanted to reconnect with, because man, everything's energy. If we associate pain to the thing that we desire, we're going to push the thing that we desire away. But if we associate pleasure and alignment with the thing that we desire, we're going to pull it toward us. And so that process is really to create money alignment and self-worth alignment. Victoria, so the before picture was, man, I wasn't owning my value. I really wasn't owning my worth. I had these limiting beliefs about money. So how do you feel now with money and your own worth in terms of asking for the money that you desire in relationship to before the event?
So now moving forward, really since that activity, which truly blew my mind and had such a great impact on me, since that time, I've always valued money. I've always respected it. I've never just blown it out and spent money on exorbitant things. But I just thought, you know what? I don't need to be so protective of what I have. It's there and it's something I'm a good steward of. However, since greatest year of your life, I have 2 proposals out on the table. One other company who has approached me, and so far, none of them have even blinked an eye and I put it right out there. I'm like, I'm not going to spend time on this proposal and play this let's play tag game and let's talk about the money later. I put it right there in the proposal, whether it was a virtual thing or whether it was face to face, and none of them have rolled their eyes or turned their back. Oh, that's kind of a lot of money. And then I thought, gosh, am I even asking enough? But the confidence I had typing that proposal up, and at first I was like, oh God, that's a lot of money. But a friend of mine said, so what? Maybe they say no. What's the big deal? Then they're not the right person for you. And I have so much confidence now putting those dollar figures on a piece of paper because I am worth it. The services that I provide are amazing. They will impact the people who use them and take advantage of them and choose to receive them. So I have, it just, I don't know, it feels really good. It's not holding me back anymore. I'm really, really happy. And if they bite and I work with them, awesome. If not, they're not the right client for me, but it's just gotten a lot easier to now put those dollars on paper and ask for them and stand behind them and believe that I am worth that.
Good for you. Bravo to you, sister. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other breakthroughs that you could think of at the greatest year of your life that kind of popped for you?
Gosh, well, one was very, very deeply personal, and it had to do with relationships and a past experience that was pretty bad. And it's something I just don't share with people. And I thought, gosh, if I shared this story with other people, maybe they would see that this is why I react certain ways to certain things. And And it was really just never being a victim of the circumstance. I've never been that, but it's like, how do I navigate through this? Because I would let it impact the way I behave in relationships. And I thought, again, I am worthy of love, of receiving love, and I have love to give. And it was really just a very deeply personal and highly unexpected breakthrough. I did not go to Greatest Year of Your Life for that. But that tragic event many years ago has really shaped how I behave in certain relational situations and with certain people, and how guarded I became, and almost self-sabotaging in a lot of ways. And I just thought, gosh, life is short, and this has got to stop. And it was actually Aaron Huey's activity about that enough that really I'm shocked I was not like in hysterics crying, but I was mad and I was frustrated, and I did that activity and I was just like, fuck this, like I'm better than this. And by the very last day, that last evening, I just thought, man, like I am better and I am worthy and I have a lot to offer, and a lot to give and receive. And one little event really skewed perceptions of myself for like over 20 years, and that's been so unhealthy. And I'm happy and I have confidence, and what you see is what you get, take it or leave it. But I'm just really happy. It was a very deep, dark thing, and it turned into this amazing breakthrough, and I'm just really, really happy, and I just look at life completely differently.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure you had some other insights and breakthroughs along the way. But what I want to do is kind of fast forward into what are some of the tools and strategies that you're using now? Because for those of you watching who have been to events in the past, a lot of times you can go to an event and you can have big breakthroughs. But if you don't do anything differently after the event, then a lot of times things kind of revert back. Our event, the 3-day event, The Greatest Year of Your Life, is organized in a way that you have some major shifts internally, and that you feel like you have the external tools and strategies to go out and achieve your goals for the year. And I always encourage people, you got to be able to win the day if you want to win the year. And so, Victoria, how are you winning the day? What are you doing on the daily? The tools, the strategies, the exercises to keep your momentum going?
So first and foremost, I have an accountability partner, Chris Stegner. We actually met at Greatest Year of Your Life, and it's not just an accountability partner like, oh, let's be accountability partners. It is like we've got structure, and we stick to the task, and we stay focused. We meet regularly. We check in with one another. We have not lost that momentum, and it's very mutual. It's not one of us is giving all the time or taking all the time. It's very mutual. And I think having an accountability partner is critical, especially after an event like this where you're so open and vulnerable. So that is tool number one, and Chris has been very grateful. The next thing is when we did our goal setting exercise, I thought, oh my gosh, this is stuff I even teach people about. So for me, I now use goals and to-do lists, and I do the how do you eat an elephant method. It's you take little bites, and I may have 10 things that I want to accomplish, but I'm really only writing down 3 or 4 of them, because like we talked about the impact of crossing something off of your list and how good and accomplishing that feels. So I definitely have shorter to-do lists, and I have my amazing accountability partner. But I'm also structuring and prioritizing my day so that it fits me. Before the event, you threw out the call, hey, what's your theme for the year? And I said selfishness. And it's because I'm such a people pleaser and I always try to take care of other people. I thought, no, this is my time and this is now. And I have to do this now. So it's prioritizing and structuring my day so that it fits me, especially working a full-time job. But the last thing that I never envisioned is my vision board. I have that positioned in my home in such a way that I'm forced to look at it every day, and it's categorized in such a way where I pick a category to focus on for that day or that time period. I touch it, I talk to it, I visualize it, and when I'm driving to the JOV, I talk it out to the universe, to God, to just put it out there and say, I'm going to accomplish this, and let's do this together, and this is what this means for me today in the here and now. So that vision board is pretty impactful, more impactful than I realized, and I absolutely love it. So the to-do list, the accountability partner, better prioritization, and really embracing my vision board are working for me. They've been working for me since the day I left that event.
Awesome. Awesome. And we're more than 3 weeks post-event, and you're still flying high, still on fire. And one thing I always invite people to do is make sure that they're consistently immersing themselves in environments around other people that support you and empower you to achieve your goals. And you're registered for the 2-day NLP training, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I cannot
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, so we do a lot of NLP at the Greatest Year of Your Life, and we also have a 2-day NLP training that we do in March. And it's an opportunity for people to really learn how to train their mind and learn how to use their mind to get what they want instead of letting their mind use them. Because there are really two kinds of people in this world, in this context. There are people who really have influence over their own mind and they move themselves intentionally and consciously in the directions that they want to go. And then there are people who let their mind use them. They let old unconscious patterns and programs run their emotions, run their behavior, run the outcomes of their life, and they don't really achieve anything important or significant in their life. And so NLP really is one of those bodies of work that give you a full, intimate structure of the internal world, of your internal world, so you know how to influence it to the outcomes that you desire. So Victoria, super excited to see you at the NLP training. It's fun watching you continue to fly and keep that momentum going. Any words of wisdom, like what would you share with people who attended the Greatest Year of Your Life, or even people who have those New Year's goals that they set, and it's February now, and the momentum is starting to taper off? What sort of wisdom might you have for them to keep going?
So, for the greatest year of your lifers, I would say, we had an opportunity to embrace a huge community and there were a ton of people there, but really go back and revisit the few folks or even that one person who really made you feel good, that you could pour into one another, and latch on to that person and see if they would be an accountability partner for you or just someone that you can check in with. So that's for the greatest year of your lifers. But for other folks who, yeah, we're in February now, I would say first revisit what you thought you wanted to accomplish and make sure that it's relevant for you, because things change, circumstances change. We know that life
Yes.
happens, but really go back and revisit. Make sure you didn't just throw it down because it sounded good at the time, but is it going to be impactful for you and the things that you want to achieve? And then, map it all out, but go ahead and just think about what's realistic and what's tangible and what you can handle in little bits and pieces, because nothing's worse than saying you're going to accomplish 10 things and then you only accomplish 2 and you're like, oh, what about the other 8? So make it realistic, make it work for you, because it's about you. This is your life, it's yours for the taking. Be ready to receive whatever's coming your way, but stay focused and healthy and sharp-minded with the things that you want to accomplish, and be realistic about it. And don't forget to ask for help if you need help too.
Love it. Thank you, Victoria. Love those nuggets of wisdom. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Victoria, thank you so much for your time and
Thank
jumping on
you.
this interview with me. Like I said, it was great to meet you at the event and watch you have some of those breakthroughs, and to continue to watch you continue the momentum, and to see you continue on being on fire is a real treat for me. So keep going, and I'll see you in March at the NLP training, okay?
Thank you, George. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. All right, everybody, take good care, and stay tuned for the next before and after greatest year of your life. Take care, guys.